Yeah, bro. Get that. Guess got latent. Okay. Board I will require. Copy. Get it. Copy. No. No, no. Okay. So hi. Hi. Good evening, students. So it's a very historic day. India, Pakistan are playing the match. Still you are sitting here. So thank you for coming. And yeah, because we also have our match to play, isn't it? India Pakistan matches will keep on going. Somebody will lose, somebody will win, but ultimately what matters is us, what we are going to do in the life. If we win in our matches, you can get to sit in the VIP section and watch the match, or else for the entire life you are going to see the match on what? Disney Hotstar, Jio Hotstar. The names will keep on changing. Okay, and again, if the light goes, if the internet goes, you are at the mercy of the internet. So we have to first, as Lord Buddha says that, Atto Dipa Bhava. First, work for your own emancipation, then for the emancipation of others. So first we need to uplift ourselves. So today I am going to talk about effectively about reading, how to read effectively, what to read, what not to read, and in this journey of UPSC, what all to be read, because yesterday only I was talking in my economics class. I was talking about the students. I told that when I came to Bangalore, there was a very fancy notion about Bangalore, because when we come to Bangalore, we watch the movies Bangalore Days, Thodakkam Mangalyam and all. So, and Bangalore seems to be very fancy name. But after staying here in Bangalore for 1 year, my entire thinking went metamorphosis. So metamorphosis, again, I have taken the word from Franz Kafka. We'll talk about that. Metamorphosis means what? A tectonic change in myself. So when I interact with the students like you, and in fact interacted so well and with heart-to-heart interactions, I got to know the people very well, or the students very well, and then I came to know that these people are not from the shiny glitz of Bangalore. These people come from very remote areas of Karnataka. Okay, so though you seem that their geographical location is Bangalore, but they come from somewhere far away. One. Second, majority of the students are coming from what? Kannada medium. 2. Third, all are victims of our educational system. 3. Because our educational system always focuses on what? Rote learning. Few is the possibility that somebody must have studied in CBSE, or rarest of the rare category, people must have studied in ICSE. If ICSE would have been there, you would not be sitting here. Clear? You would have been studying somewhere in Harvard, Stanford, or Oxford somewhere, because typically those students don't come here. So then I underwent thinking, and I felt that what here our students lack, or Vinay sir always talks about that, they lack something known as social capital. They lack something known as cultural capital. Because of the various factors, geographical factors could be there, time, space, place, our parents also. So our parents did the max what they can give it to us. So that's why you're sitting here. So you are coming from loans, or you are coming from the money you have accumulated, paid the fees, you are sitting here, and again I know that the inflation is so high in Bangalore, in fact in Chandra layout, and you get what? The food which is unable to eat, but still you eat. And half of the students I know that they have left and now they are studying somewhere else, trying to take online classes and all. But what I felt, or always Vinay sir also tells that, because he also comes from that Davangiri background, he tells that we need to work on what? Developing the persona of a student, or to make a student a multifaceted thinker. So multifaceted thinker students, there are a lot of ways to make it. But first and foremost way is what? Inculcate the habit of reading. So students, reading, if I just try to borrow some lines, I would start with the quote of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule. You know what is who is Mahatma Jyotirao Phule? He and his partner started education for women. So he used to say in Marathi, Vidye vina mati geli, mati vina niti geli, niti vina gati geli, gati vina vitta gele, vitta vina shudra kazle, एवढे सगळे अनर्थ एका अविद्येने केले. And if I translate, the translation is done by a very fantastic scholar known as Gail Ombet, who writes a beautiful book known as Seeking Begumpura. So Gail Ombet says that without education, vidya vina mati geli, intellect was lost. Mati vina niti geli, without intellect, ethics were lost. Niti vina gati geli, without ethics, progress was lost. Gati vina vitta geli, without that progress, our wealth was lost. This is how much the lack of education has cost us. So many things have been cost to us. So that is what our attempt here is to what? To inculcate that social cultural capital. See, we are not born with the libraries, okay? So we start from our one book which we borrow, and again the culture is such that unaffordability of the books only, because books could be afforded by the people who have a lot of economic capital. If you see that books are so costly also, hard copies. And though you get now PDFs also, but PDFs are not readable. You don't get the feel of that book. So, but still we will try to find a ways also, and after our session ends, we will also talk about from where we can get some free PDFs also, okay, which is illegal, but still we will talk about. Okay, because as Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan says that beg, borrow or steal, and we are now living in the age of AI, and our is what? We are believing in what? A teleological pragmatic end. We want to what? Increase and enhance our social cultural capital, so that the people who are competing against you with all the resources, they also get a tough fight. So that the people who are ready to work hard, so that the people are ready to pay the price, so that people in the process who are ready to inculcate or enhance their or update themselves, they get a fair chance to represent our India or to represent in the civil services. And this is one step. Why we are doing this reading session is also because you have a paper known as ethics, and you also have a paper known as essay. And if you have seen since 2-3 years, they have started changing the way they are asking the essay questions. Earlier they used to ask some GS questions type, na, science and tech and all. And can you see that the way the questions they are asking now is more philosophical? Why they are asking philosophical? Because the experience tells that students come and go and write GS in the essay paper. Because GS1 you already know, GS2 already know, GS3 already know, GS4 is a merging of that. And you go and write the entire GS paper in essay. And also we have been taught to write essays like write history, write geography, write what we say culture, this. Same like GS break that in the essay. And that's why in spite of studying so much, your marks in essays are always average, 106, 107. And there are some people who get around 169 marks in essay also. And you know that essay and ethics are the decider. Okay, too. So that is also one of the purpose why we wanted to do this session. Second, recent one. When you are filling your UPSC forms, there was a column of hobbies. Okay, so students used to call me, sir, what should I put the hobby? Mela, abhi, what? Some students already put reading only. But sir, I already put reading now. Now you tell me what to read. So as if now you put now, you are compelled to develop a new hobby. And so called the ethos of hobby is what? Which you do in your leisure time. Okay, so to avoid these situations and really develop a hobby, reading is one of the best hobbies. Why I will also make you convinced why it's a best hobby. Now students, take any person from the world. Those who have climbed the heights of so called material success, philosophical success, spiritual success. All have been voracious readers. Okay, I am not boasting in front of you, but From internal sources, I came to know that Vinay sir, he travels so much now, isn't it? Always he's going from here and there. You can't find him in the car without a book. Okay, people feel that how he dares, and he clashes with the giants, and he's roaming from here and there. Somewhere he's in Davangiri, sometimes he's Mysore, somewhere here, sometimes in OGP1, but always we'll find him with a book. So that is one of the pillars, or that is one of the secrets of his success. And that's why, and he doesn't want to keep it hiding. He always tells that, sir, let's do this. Let's pass it on to the students. Let's make our students that so-called, or enhance their socio and cultural capital. That's why we are doing it. So we are around the leaders of the world. Take Obama. If you follow Obama on the Twitter, or if you see the Obama's website, so always he puts up a summer reading list. That whenever he goes on holiday, he takes up with him a bundle of books. Oprah Winfrey, she also has his book recommendations. Okay. Trump, now you see his face and you don't feel that he must be ever reading, but Trump has also written some books also on investing and strategies of investing, because Trump is a real estate magnate. Remember that. So before he became the Donald Trump or the president of USA, he was a voracious reader and he was also a writer. Winston Churchill, whom we hate, who caused the Bengal famine, but he's a hero in London, or he's a hero for Britain. Winston Churchill himself was a writer. Are you getting this? Now Michelle Obama, she's also a writer. Her 2-3 books have come out. So students, in fact, the dictator known as Hitler, there's a long list of books what Hitler used to read. Stalin, there is a beautiful book which has come out 2 years ago, Stalin's Library. So people just went inside the library of Stalin to understand what Stalin was reading, or how could Stalin grip or had a grip over the people for such a long time. You know now the time period of Stalin, I taught you in world history, 1924 to 1954. And in fact, for 1 year, nobody abuses Stalin for 1 year, because everybody is fearful of Stalin. So that is how the grip he had. So whether the person is bad, whether the person is a good, whether the person is a moderate, but if that person has reached the pinnacles of height, the person always had been a voracious reader, including our honorable Prime Minister. So what I know from the internal sources, he even today, being the Prime Minister, reads around 16 to 17 newspapers every day. Even though he may not speak, he doesn't speak, he doesn't under. There are a lot of criticism on him, but he is a voracious reader. Take any person from any field. Always those persons have been voracious reader. So if we are aspiring for that position in our respective fields, we need to inculcate the habit of reading. Not just to aspire for something which is what we say great, but also for our own personal benefit, personal development, and even if we restrict our contours of why we want to read, essay and ethics also. Are you getting this? That's why we have to read. So before we go ahead, there are 2-3 examples. First of all, how I want to make this lecture is what? Personal and you. So it would be more about interactive. See, I don't like to always, in my classes, I don't just keep on talking, because it looks like Baba Ramdev performing yoga and you are just watching. You don't have any idea. I am doing some yoga and you are doing some wrongly. I don't want that. I want you to also ask a lot of questions. That is what the essence of democracy is all about. That is what we say substantive democracy. That is what Plato in his Republic talks about. So I'm going to talk a lot about books. Whenever I will going to talk, I will throw a reference on you. So just, it's deliberative. Okay, so it would be what? Deliberative democracy as talked by Plato, or as mooted by Plato in his book known as Republic. So Plato's book Republic. Pol Science students may be knowing it, Republic. So now students, how I turn to reading. Okay, there are 2 instances in my life which nudged me a little bit to go for a reading. The first was, I was reading a book by Salim Yusuf. So in that, a beautiful chapter is mentioned. There, a chapter on Ambedkar is given. So you know that Ambedkar was the first law minister, and he was also in a defense panel. So what happened one fine day, there was a meeting in Nehru's, secretariat. So Nehru was sitting, you know that he was the honorable Prime Minister of India that time. And there was one person who happened to be a bureaucrat, but Nehru's relative. And he was a secretary, defense secretary that time. And Ambedkar walks in and sits there. See, Nehru understand that. Nehru is a Cambridge educated person. schooled at Harrow. Father is Motilal, a successful practitioner. He is in jail and he writes letter to his daughter, which becomes a book. The Discovery of India is written in what? Ahmednagar jail. And Discovery of India, you know that it's available on YouTube. So just understand the extent and intellect of Nehru. So Nehru is sitting there. His relative is sitting there. And the relative says to Ambedkar, who is sitting there, Ambedkar, I think you have not read your file properly. There are a lot of mistakes. And this man, see, born to an untouchable category. Okay. As per that, he couldn't take education, he couldn't read, and you know that in his entire life, he wasn't able to take Sanskrit because Sanskrit was denied for an untouchable to read. He tried to take it. Once he tried in Germany, but the professor he wanted to study under, he died. So Sanskrit remained his lifelong pursuit. He was denied that. But again, Ambedkar shows that what the so-called force and energy, if a person has that desire, the person can achieve anything irrespective of anything without having any social, without having any cultural capital. So this giant walks and comes there. And this Nehru's relative, because he's already bolden, because Nehru is there, na, relative, they eat together, they drink together. Ambedkar, I think that you have not read the file properly. Now what astonished me is the reply of Ambedkar to him. He says that the number of books which you have read in your life plus the number of books which your family has read in their life plus count your last 7 generations. I am sitting here reading more than those books. Don't try to teach me. Understand? You are talking about page number 53. I have corrected that mistake. And it was not a mistake. It is your mistake, printing mistake done by your typist. Page number 96. It's against your typist mistake. Go and tell him, not me. And all this is happening in front of Nehru. So I was just mesmerized. See, this is a very normal incident which was given. So Ambedkar is talking about what him, his family, his last 7 generations also, which includes Nehru. How does a person gets that confidence? What is behind that? And then with my intellectual engagement with Ambedkar and then his writings, I came to know that one thing only was instrumental for him becoming Bhimrao, what was his name, to Dr. B.R. or a double doctorate, B.R. Ambedkar. It was what? Reading. It was reading. That gave him confidence. He didn't have social cultural capital, but reading gave him a stance to go and represent in round table conference, to go and talk with Gandhi one-to-one, to go and challenge the Mahatmaism of Gandhi also. See, whether it's right or wrong, that's a different thing. But see, challenge, if a person is giving challenge, that person requires guts. Are you getting this? So that guts. And speaking that in front of Nehru, again you know that Ambedkar was brought inside Rajya Sabha. He was not elected. So you know that now today's politicians, you know that, yes sir, they do that because you know that they will be removing them. If you have that guts, there must be something. And that something was what? Reading. That something was what? Intellectual reading. That something was what? Development of his own social, cultural capital. One. Second, so this looked very good when we heard. Second incident I will tell you and then we'll move ahead into our stuff. There is a book known as Ambedkar in London. 1 year ago, Christopher Jefferlo, who writes in Indian Express, political science students know them. So he had written. So he is edited by book. So in that Christopher Jefferlo's book, so Ambedkar is staying in London. He is a double student. London School of Economics also. He is studying law also. So 2-2. We can't do our one course. He is studying 2-2 courses because he doesn't know that ever he will get a chance in his life to come back and study in London. He doesn't know that because his wife is using what? If you know that gobar she is putting there, drying up, selling that, and the money which she gets, she is sending him for his studies. And just imagine, you are the economic students, pound sterling conversion rate or pound sterling conversion rupee rate. What must be getting converted there, and it's going to him. So Ambedkar's roommate was a Negro. That's why how he engages with the question of black later in his life also. So he says to Ambedkar, and Ambedkar doesn't sleep only. 20 hours he's studying, 4 hours he may be sleeping, standing and sleeping, eating one sandwich. That too also, if you go to London, you will come to know that breakfast is free wherever you stay. So that breakfast is sustaining him for his entire stay. So his friend, a black Negro, says him, Ambedkar, you will die. And the answer which he gives, again it's so inspiring, and again it comes with a very deep intellectual thought. He says that no time, no sleep, no money, no food. I have just limited time, I have limited food, and I have to achieve something which is impossible, so that people will get inspired seeing me that impossible is also possible. For them I am doing this. And he continues that, and then you know that how he is brought inside the Constitutional Assembly, because we are not bringing him. So Justice Frankfurter says to our Indian delegate, are you mad? You're coming to America and asking some intellectual help. You have a giant there in India, go and ask him. And then they have to go to Ambedkar, and it's a compulsion. You don't like a person, but you compel a person to bring you inside. And what made people to compel him to join the chairperson of the Constitutional Assembly? It's reading. So why I give you example, it's because even if you today, if you see that, whenever you see the statue of Ambedkar or a photo of Ambedkar, you always see with a book. There is no other statue in India which is coming with a book. Ambedkar is always seen with a book. So that is what reading can do to a person. And you can know that what great heights a person can reach. So that is why we have come together, we have accumulated here to understand the basics or understand reading, or how we can enhance it, or how we can enhance our social and cultural capital. That is what we are interested here. So students, before we begin, I would try to delineate how the process of reading for us begins. Okay, and I will put my own examples, and before coming to the lecture, since yesterday I have been talking with a lot of friends who are now good readers, who read a lot, and good intellectuals, good writers, I talk with them, how their process of reading starts. So depending upon that, our reading student starts, there are 3 phases of our reading. Okay, and you will always resonate with that. First phase, students, is our Chetan Bhagat phase. Okay, so Chetan Bhagat phase, Durjoy Datta phase, है ना, love stories, breakups, patch-ups. That is what we start with our readings, because that is what first is our what, a prime mover to enter our reading. Okay, so if you enter this phase, and if you can sustain this phase for at least 10-12 books, you are inside the so-called net of reading. Okay, so first phase is Chetan Bhagat phase. Now there is what, Durjoy Datta phase. Now new is what, Sudha Murthy also has been added. Sudha Murthy also writes love stories, na? Of all engineers, engineers in America, engineers in Bangalore. She keeps on writing. Read his books, so read her books. So there is a book known as Dollar Bahu. And there is a beautiful book which I loved a lot, Mahashweta. Okay, recently, 6 days ago, a new book has came. It's called The Circle of Life. These are all pretty light, good books, which you are very feel good books. So here is the first point of entry for us. Okay. But after reading 1 or 2 Chetan Bhagats, or after reading 2 or 3, or after reading some, Mandar Kulkarni and all, see these new wannabe writers who have left engineering, okay, who are dropped from engineering, all these people are now into what, writing. Clear? At one point of time when I left my engineering for 2 years, I also felt I should write. Seeing these people, okay. Yes, it attracts you, they are also so okay, because after this you also feel that you should also fall in love, but the problem is that there is nobody to fall in love with you. But motivation and energy, you get it from here. Okay, you start visualizing yourself, but you think that why my engineering life is not like this. Okay, there the teachers are behaving good, there everybody is responding, everybody. Here my teacher is always asking for assignments, and once assignment finishes, my exam starts. Once exam finishes, again assignment starts. So you don't know how the 4 years of engineering go. But this is what the first phase where your reading starts. Okay, so first phase of the reading is the Chetan Bhagat phase. Clear? Then after Chetan Bhagat phase students, you are little bit matured, thoda sa. You feel that, oh yaar, this is nonsense, this is crap. And even though Chetan Bhagat's new book come, you are not very eager to read it. Now you graduate to the second stage of your reading, or your phase 2, which is known as self-motivation phase. Okay. So phase 2, here you graduate is what? Self-motivation phase. Here students, you come across books like You Can Win, Shiv Khera, Robin Sharma, Who Will Cry When You Die, okay, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Best Time Seller. If you go to Chandra Layout OGP 1, the person will be what? Representing your second phase. Just go and see the books. Okay, so here it's for self-motivation phase. Here you go for what? Shiv Khera. You Can Win Your Life. Then again, you go for what? Robin Sharma. Okay, if you happen to hear some reel of Virat Kohli, then you will also go for the autobiography of a yogi. Okay, then there are other books, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, The 5am Club by Robin Sharma, and The Greatness Guide by Robin Sharma, The Greatness Guide 1, The Greatness Guide 2, The Greatness Guide 3, and all these are what? Your self-motivation phase. These two goes on for a pretty good time. Okay, you try to do the same thing, whatever the techniques they are told. In the morning you get up, you say thank you, thank you, thank you. Start giving gratitude. Na? They are told that after getting up in the morning, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then they say that if you want to earn too much money, write a check to you of $5,000 and don't think how it will come. Just see it, say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad and grateful I got 5,000 rupees. I'm so glad and grateful, and they told that, experience that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're enjoying yourself. Whatever they are told, you are implementing in yourself. Again, they will call, I have passed my UPSC 2025, All India Rank 1. You will make a sheet of that and keep it. And they tell you, see it for 3 days. Morning one time, afternoon one time, before sleeping one time. Okay. Ask, believe, receive. Ask, believe, and receive. Receive means thank you. I am All India Rank 1. Thank you. I am All India Rank 1. So this is what your second phase of motivation. Okay. Then after second phase of motivation of your reading, at least you are into the reading. And now you feel that this is all crap whatever we are doing. And here students, the third phase which comes, shall I go to the next page? What is that? There is, which? This one? Yeah. So students, phase 3 comes. This is the most crucial phase for your reading. Here students, there are 2-3 agencies. First, either you get a good mentor who will channelize your reading. Okay, either now there are now, let's say, social media or Instagram apps which give you different suggestions, the pages are there. And either it's your, this is 1, this is 2, either third is what? It's your friends or the friend circle, which guides into, or serious people who are reading, they will tell that go for this is a good book, this is a good book. If you happen to go to Blossoms there, so you will find a lot of these reading people come them and they recommend each other, or this book is good, hand can, classic, take it. So that is what it happens. So students, but I feel that this is the very important phase, or within them, the mentor is very important. Because see, now it's not a question of whether you read or not, you read, but now what to read, that is more important. Okay, and in fact in the UPC process, if you are in the UPC process, you need to what? Filter what you read. You can't go on reading everything what you can lay your hands on. So when I passed my stage 2, I met a mentor in Pune. So my mentor channelized my reading progress. So he told me what to read and what not to read. So he directed me to such readings which were helpful and instrumental for UPSC. And he is the person who will also act as a regulator. Still remember that. he that time told me to read Bibek Debroy's book. It's called Getting India Back on Track. We will make a list of books also what we can read. Getting India Back on Track. Very important book for our UPSC. GS2 and GS3. Bibek Debroy was what? Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council. He was the chair. Recently passed away. He is a very important literature. He was an economist, one. And second, he has translated all the versions of Mahabharata in English also. Very important. He is a Sanskritist also. So he told me, go and read Bibek Debroy. So Bibek Debroy's Getting India Back on Track. So I still remember and I still have that copy where I read that book and I have my notes of that. And I use the data and figures of that book in my answer writing also. Second, he told me to read Amartya Sen's and John Rees' Uncertain Glory. Uncertain Glory. Must read for all UPSC aspirant. Must read. So it has a chapter on health. It has a chapter on education. It has a chapter on what? Child. And you know that if you see Oxford Multidimensional Poverty Index, you have all these parameters. Third, what a good mentor does is that I still remember I bought a copy of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude. Okay, we will write this name also. Recently, Netflix has brought a series on that. 100 Years of Solitude. So my mentor was mentoring me to what to read and what not. I went to him enthusiastically. Sir, I got this. Sir, when to read? He said, after you become IAS. That means what? Don't read now. That is one of the most important things. Because he was to channelize, he was to filter what I should read at this point of time. So it also very important, becomes very important at what juncture of your preparation you are. Are you getting this? If you are in the initial stages or UPSC has taken a grip over you, you can't go on reading anything. So you have to decide that time. Second, I still remember, I was reading Perumal Murugan's. Perumal Murugan, you know, author, Tamil author. Very important. 2018 Madras High Court judgment. Go home today and Google him. So Perumal Murugan's, I was reading Season of Palms. Season of Palms. And I was writing my essay. Already I cleared the prelims for preparing for mains. And see, what you read is also reflected in your writing. So I was reading Season of Palms, which is about the feudal structure in Tamil Nadu, and especially the Kongu Nadu region around Coimbatore, Kongu Nadu. Okay, Kongu Nadu is in your post-India independence. Kongu Nadu also wanted to get separated from Tamil Nadu. Okay, they wanted a separate state, region. So that got reflected in my answers, in my essay. He told me, what you're reading now? Well, I told him, I'm reading the Season of Palms. He said, go and bring it. So I brought the book. He said that, Zapt, out. So he took book from my hand and said that I will not give it to you. Because this is getting reflected in your answers. And UPSC always requires a moderate approach to answer writing. And remember that what you are reading is consciously, subconsciously reflecting in your writing also. That you need to remember. It's not that I am reading for leisure. No, students, it goes into your conscious and subconscious mind and creates your answer. And that reading was very radical. After 5 days, he came again and told me, Nikhil, I am returning you the book back, but promise me you will not read. I said, no, don't return. I will read it. Take it with you only. So he kept it with himself. So that's why, students, the task of a mentor becomes very important to channelize your reading as per your level, where you are or what you are preparing or which stage of life you are. Second, student, this is, I feel, a crass things. This is what you have to save yourself from, because on Instagram, all these reels, so they cut down the reels. 5 books, tell me what are the best. So they tell the name of 5 books. Okay, tell me just 3 books which change your life. So they tell the 3 books which change their life. And the 3 books are different for different persons. Are you getting this? That is nothing but marketing for books. If you see that the content is promoted content. Sometimes the link is also given to buy you that books. So this is, it's not your mind, it's regulating you, it's your what? Big daddy is regulating you. Or Instagram is regulating you, or Elon Musk via Twitter is regulating you, or Facebook is regulating you, or Google is regulating you by giving you suggestions so that you could deter from your track and you don't, or you fall in their trap and get commodified, or you become a customer. They are looking at you from the perspective of only customer to sell and dump those products. Yes, sir. Here students, you can rely on them if trustworthy. So there are a lot of book clubs in the Kabban Park. Sunday they meet, they have a thematic discussions on the books. So you can just check them. Sometimes you can go early and just check them, and they are always welcome for everybody. So depending upon what genre you like to read, you can go and join them. So they take one book reading sessions. There are a lot of online reading sessions. We did that in our COVID times because everybody is sitting at home. So we took up a lot of good books and we started a reading club. And what we used to do is that we used to pick up a book and call the original author of that book. So it was very easy because the author was available online. Author could interact with the people also. So that is what we did. And also it was a very democratic group because our group was defined what ideas we want to propagate to the public. So we were very clear that all constitutional or foundational ideas, the ideas mentioned in the preamble, our book should align with that. So we took up a book known as The Anatomy of Hate, which I already put on Telegram. Okay, The Anatomy of Hate, which is on communal situation. Are you getting it? Then we took Ajanta Subramaniam's book we have taken. Okay, then there was a Malayalam author, Sanal Mohan. So slavery in Kerala, we took that. So we called a lot of authors who came and spoke with us. So that was a very churning event for us. So that is what, if the group is trustworthy, you can go for that, or you can form among yourself a book. So you can split the expenses also. Let's say, for example, 5 books you decide, and let's say you come and meet me, or you come and meet our all faculties. They are also good readers. Meet them, tell them that, sir, our requirement is what? We want to learn to write more philosophical essays. And let's say, sir, we have taken 5 philosophers: Plato, Aristotle, Kant we have taken, Montesquieu we have taken, and let's say J.S. Mill we have taken. So we want to read each of their works. Can you suggest a work? So one work. So that our mentor or our faculty can moderate that group also to channelize your reading properly. So what to be taken and what not to be taken, it can also be done by that. Or if, say, let's say from among you, somebody has studied literature, you can sit with them and ask them to moderate also, because at least they know a little bit more than you in terms of literature, or they can guide you. Clear? Like that you can do that. So, but this friend circles was great. So even today I have a friend circle which has people from all walks of life. So I have some professors from IIT, some professors from US, Columbia, some professors from London, and some authors are there which are very famous now. So they keep up updating what they are reading. So that also gives a glimpse that what these people, when we see as stalwarts, are reading, and ultimately we want to aspire like them. We want to become like them. What they are reading, what they are not reading, or they give the suggestions that this book is crass. So for example, I'm giving. Last year there were 5 or 6 books on Ambedkar. So I was engaging with Ambedkar. There was a book of Shashi Tharoor. So one person told me, don't read Shashi Tharoor, you will not get anything. So I didn't read it. He said, just he has taken from here and there, like Wikipedia, made a book and sold it. Don't waste your time. So we didn't waste our time. So it saved our time. But if you want to read by Ashok Gopal. That is a good book. If you want to read by Scott Stroud. It's good. If you want to read by that Anal Tumde, Iconoclast. That is good. Fresh ideas, you will get something. Are you getting this? Or let's say somebody suggested, Nikhil, this classics, read Italo Calvino. So I started reading entire Italo Calvino. We will also go into this, how we can take an author and read. So this is very handy. Clear? So we should all aspire students to come in this phase 3, and we should try to go for this third phase. Try to find a person. Okay, you will get it. There are a lot of people to help you. You can come to me, I will tell you what to read, what not to read. Torun sir is also there. You can go and ask him. Umesh sir is there. You can go and ask. If you go and meet Vinay sir, ask him. Okay, that's it. So they can help you to read. Okay, done? Okay. Any doubts still here? Yeah? Okay, chalo. Next. Now students, we are going towards a next concept known as ways of reading. Ways of reading. Now students, again I have divided into 3 types. So any text, now you are up with a book. Now you have selected your genre. Okay, now you want to read. So how to read? So there are 3 techniques. I say one technique is Eklavya technique. One is what? technique of child, and third is I called selectively selective technique. We'll discuss each of them. First is an Eclair technique, second is technique of a child, and third is what? Selectively selective technique. Let's go with the technique of a child. Now, see students, all this technique depend upon the type or genre of the books which you are reading. So first let's go to the technique of child. Very simple technique. Even today, you are let's say 23, 24 years of age now, still you remember the stories which you learnt or you have studied in your childhood. How? Because first thing students, there was no intention attached. Second, it was for pure joy and leisure. And here you read for happiness. You read for happiness. No pressure of writing in essay, no pressure of writing in ethics, no pressure to impress anybody by quoting books, nothing. You just read for yourself. That's why even today you remember some stories, or let's say our grandmother told some stories. Why we remember that? It's because of this technique of child. So there are some books which have to be read for the sake of pure joy, for the sake like childlike innocence, and for the sake of what? No intentions. So that is known as techniques of child or childlike technique. And the beauty of this technique is that students, you don't have to remember deliberately. When you are writing essay, ethics, unconsciously your mind will tell you, go and read this, go and read this, or go and write this, or this is better suited here. That's why I always tell that students, when you are doing answer writing, okay, don't take the burden of material, what you have read. Let the mind free. Because if you let your mind free while answer writing, see already you have studied, that is in the conscious mind. But if you let your mind free, unconscious mind will give you more points, which you will not think about, but it will still be fitting there. Are you getting this? So this is what first is what technique of child. That is what you can use. Second students, I always call as Eclair technique. So Eclair technique students, I have designed, or I feel, let me narrate your story. So then you will come to know what I am talking about, or why this technique is known as Eclair technique. I tell always in my class. So we all know the stories of this all Pandavas and Kauravas gone with Dronacharya to shoot a parrot, isn't it? So they ask, Guru Dronacharya asks, what do you see? Somebody says, I see mountains, trees, leaves, birds, sky, all. Then comes our hero Arjuna. Then Guru Dronacharya asks him, what do you see? Okay. So he says, I only see what? The eye of the parrot. Then Guru Dronacharya says, okay, now you can shoot. And then he shoots, it goes into the eye, and how Arjuna is what? The greatest warrior. But students, you know that there are around 100 types of Mahabharatas, tribal. So there is a tribal retelling of Mahabharata also. So among those candidates, there is also one candidate known as Eklavya. He has not revealed his true ancestry, that he is a tribal person. After Arjuna's turn, he comes and Dronacharya asks him, what you see? So Eklavya doesn't answer anything. Guru Dronacharya says, child, what you see? He says, I can't see anything. And when he shoots, it also, what we say, shoots, or it also touches the eyes of that parrot. How come a person who can't see anything still shoots that and still gets that aim right? Then there is a philosophical explanation for that. This person has become so one with the goal that your goal and you can't be separated. When you have little bit gap, or when you have little bit distance from your goal, you can shoot it, but there is always a possibility that you can also deter. Let's say wind comes, let's say climatic conditions are not good, let's say a parrot just goes away, or trees fell down, or trees shake because of the wind. So there is a possibility that you could miss your mark. But if you are one with your goal, whether wind comes, air comes, thunder comes, whatever comes, you can't miss your goal. So that's why I say that this technique is a equilibrium technique. So when you're reading the book, you shut out all the distractions and be with the book only. So only one book. Eating, drinking, sleeping, you're one with that book. So you have personified the book. So there are certain books you have to read like that. So that happened in my case when I was reading the book by Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs' biography is there, Walter Isaacson. Brilliant book. You can't keep it down. And recently I finished a book known as Green Lights by this McConaughey, the one who acted in Interstellar. Okay, he has won an Oscar also. He's famous for his 3 words, all right, all right, all right, McConaughey. So that book, getting up, going anywhere, sleeping, I was with that book because I became one with that book. I could visualize myself that whatever McConaughey was doing, when he was flying to Texas, when he was going to Hollywood, when he left everything, went to Africa. And when students, you are with that book book becomes a part of your life and you start taking meticulous notes also of that. So I have certain anecdotes of that, which even today, let's say now it is being 1 week, I have just finished that. Still today, I sometimes feel unconsciously, I go to my book, I just turn out my pages and read it. And these book students have to be read from what? Page to page. No skipping. No skipping. And while reading such books, you can use the or you can use your highlighters, different types of pens, post-its also. I make use of pens, plus I also take my own notes also. So my notes are basically in physical form. I don't use laptops for taking those notes. Laptops only for lectures, but when I'm reading the books, I take with physical pen. So I have my own diaries or own notes of the books. And I think around, if I go to my home, I have around 326 diaries of mine, which I have notes of that. Okay, I even have during my UPC time also I used to make that, so I still have that. So whatever I read during my UPC tenure, whether the book was bad or all, doesn't matter. What I got it, I have notations of that. This is how the equilibrium technique has to be done. So some books have to be read from what? Page to page. So for you, for your syllabus, it's nothing but what? Lakshmikant. So Lakshmikant you read from what? Page to page. Lakshmikant you have to what? Embed in yourself. Because your entire polity questions of 17 to 19 questions will come from Lakshmikant. I just gave an example, external and this internal also. Clear? And third is students, selectively selective technique of reading the books. Students, some books are such that it's a repetitive book and it's a waste of time. So for example, when I picked up Shashi Tharoor's book, I went through one chapter, I read 10 pages. I felt that this book is not worth reading. This book is not worth reading. Then I skimmed through what? The contents of the book, and I felt that I would get something new in the roundtable conference chapter. I read 2-3 paragraphs of the roundtable conference. I came to know that nothing I am going to get. Then I went for conclusion, whether Shashi Tharoor's own conclusion, again I didn't get anything. So this is known as selective reading. That means what? This book is not so important for me, but you can put a checklist that I read this because nothing more this book has to offer. So similarly, students, there are a lot of hagiographical books. So for example, Shiv Kherar's You Can Win Your Life is there. So for example, Robin Sharma, you know that Greatness Guide 1, 2 and 3. So this guy has offered everything in his one book only, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And always remember that in this books or in this market of books, the first book of the author is the best book. Because in the first book, she or he is trying to establish himself or herself. They are trying to give their best shot. Later in between 2-3 books you can skip. And then after a period of 5 years, whatever they are writing, you have to see back. Because in the 5 years, they have undergone a metamorphosis or their own process or their own evolution. Then it becomes sense to read it. So Robin Sharma, when he wrote his first book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, same thing he did in what? Greatness Guide 1, Greatness Guide 2, Greatness Guide 3. Same thing he did in what? Who Will Cry When You Die. Then he came with something new, revolutionary in his 5 a.m. club. Get up at 5 a.m. and do something. Now again, the Guide to Greatness, new book has come last year. Are you getting this? So this is how, so he wrote one book, 4 or 5 years, nothing much, but after that, you have to read that stuff, whether the author has really evolved or not. So take example of Chetan Bhagat. Chetan Bhagat has not evolved. So no sense in reading Chetan Bhagat. So you know that always his love story is going to be situated in the campus. Okay, there is going to be, a father is going to be there who will not allow her daughter to marry. Are you getting this? A guy would be hell-bent on marrying that. That's it. And ultimately guy and girl will get married. That is what. And there will be 2-3 friends who will be doing all around them. And doing all setting, breaking, patching. That is what Chetan Bhagat is all about. So Chetan Bhagat doesn't make sense now to anything to read. He tried something different on Essays on India. That is a complete trash book. You can't expect anything from Chetan Bhagat to write about idea of India. Clear? He is good in writing about love stories and making it into Bollywood. That is his genre. So no, what we say, pun intended, or no apologies, but he is not best for that. So that is known as selective reading. Here, students, in selective reading, you try to save your time. Second, only selective sections of the book you read. What is required for you? Example I will give you. So there was a professor, American professor known as John Dewey. So John Dewey had written a book known as Ethics in 1908. And yesterday I was speaking to Professor Scott Stroud. He told that in that Ethics, and Ambedkar had brought that book. So Ambedkar has not read the entire book. He has marked just sections written by Tufts and only some sections written by Dewey. Baki else he has left. So that is known as selective reading. And again somebody asked Ambedkar, I think Raja Rao only, Raja Rao only asked, Ki Baba Ambedkar, what is the process of reading your book? You read so much. I think you are the most read person in India now. So he said that I follow the process of what? Selective reading. I see the author, I read the preface. If it attracts me, I go through ahead. But again, the problem is that I am reading so voraciously around. I know what the author is going to write, because ultimately when an author writes, take references from other authors. I see the reference list also. If the references mention the authors which I already read, so I read only the relevant sections which are important to me for my work. And those sections which are not important for me for my work, I don't read it unless and until I feel too much compelled to read it or the author evokes interest in me. And students, there is no shame in that. If you read a book in between, if you read the book in parts, or if you didn't read the parts which you didn't feel great, still it's reading the book. That is known as selective reading of the book, and it has been done by the great people also. Same technique was used by Winston Churchill also. Same technique is used by Barack Obama also. Same technique is used by Oprah Winfrey also. Are you getting this? So this is the third technique, how you read the books. Clear? So there are three techniques. Clear? So these are the first two sections which I wanted to talk, and then I will tell you how to retain that. That is the third part of our lecture. But before we go, any questions from your side? So I want to have some interaction with you. Yeah. Think and ask, don't worry. And don't see, in the camera only I am visible. Okay, so whatever you ask, nobody will come to know. Arey, what did my friend ask? Only I am visible. So I will answer you. Don't feel that whether the question is too much foolish or very basic. Even the basic question, from where should I start? That is also fine. Okay, we are here to what? Improvement. We are here to what? Enhance our social and cultural capital. We are not here to impress. I always tell that. Our parents have given the birth to what? Express, not impress others. Clear? Yeah. Just think about it and you can just shoot me your questions. Kannada. I am so mad for Kannada literature now. You can start with Kuvempu. Wow. Matlab, but yeah, I will tell you one very interesting thing. What attracted me, because I have read, I was a theatre person. So I have read entire Girish Karnad. Love him. Okay, because Girish Karnad used to act in Marathi plays also. So he has a link with them. So I read entire Girish Karnad. In fact, his last play also, The Battle of Talekotta, it was first in Kannada, and we got the news that Girish Karnad passed away. So we were very tensed whether it's going to get translated in English or not, and hopefully it got, the demise of Vijayanagar. So I have read S.L. Bhairappa, and after coming in this 1 year, I read whatever is available, Purna Chandra Tejasvi. Wow. Matlab, Chidambar Rahasya, if you want to start, wow, it's all college guys, and 70s, Indira Gandhi, that emergency, brilliant. His Carvalho is awesome. So you can go with that. And Kuvempu impressed me a lot. That Kanaru Hegadatti. So my students told me, I read in English to be very frank, The House of Kanaru. My students told me, sir, watch the movie. I started the movie and I read the 6-7 pages of the book. The way the book starts, and in the movie directly it's shown that they are seeing the bride. I stopped the movie, I went for the book. And the book, wow. And I use the book whenever I'm teaching agriculture land reforms in India, or when I teach it, so because that also shows the so-called feudal structure in India also. So Kuvempu, brilliant. And if you want to go for S.L. Bhairappa, his Parva is awesome, because Parva I used in my play. I was doing a play on Mahabharata. I used Parva there. And again, I have written an article in Marathi newspaper on S.L. Bhairappa's Vamsha Vruksham. And in love of Vamsha Vruksham, I traveled to Mysore and all those places where that author, where that character goes. I went all there. That Chamundi Hills she goes there. I went to that just to experience that. Influenced by S.L. Bhairappa's this Vamsha Vruksham. So S.L. Bhairappa's Parva is great. S.L. Bhairappa's Avaran is great. Yes, Guru Bhanga is great. Okay. Yeah. And that happened to be suggested by one student. That is what so Kannada literature, then I read recently Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. I read my favorite author, U.R. Ananthamurthy. For UPSC aspirants, you should read U.R. Ananthamurthy's Bara, B-A-R-A, write down the name. It's must for UPSC aspirant because it's a story of an IAS officer. Bara, B-A-R-A, Bara. It's also available in English, don't worry. Those who can't read Kannada, they can read in English. Bara, B-A-R-A, Bara. Brilliant. Brilliant. Short, beautiful book. Bara, U.R. Ananthamurthy. And his Samskara is awesome. Samskara, yes, amazing, Samskara. And yeah. And his son-in-law is also there, Vivek Shanbag, Gachar Gochar. And recently his book Sakina's Kiss has been released. Brilliant. You can go and meet him. He is in Bangalore. Brilliant. Then I read this Kusuma Bale, Devanura Mahadeva. Arey baap re baba. Brilliant man. I'm trying to meet him, but because of the lectures I'm not able to. But I got a meeting with him. Brilliant. Devanura Mahadeva, awesome. Then yes, Shivram Karant. Yes, this was also suggested. I have read in Marathi. English I didn't get, but I read in Marathi. See, whatever Kannada literature I get, Marathi, English, I just take it and eat it. That's it. That is good. Shivram Karant, brilliant. Shivram Karant's autobiography also has come, written by his son, Ullas Karant. Awesome. Yes. Chandrasekhar Kambar, brilliant. Folk tales. And in fact, you must be not knowing, there is a beautiful author who writes in Kannada, Virappa Moili. Do read his Virappa Moili, Tambera. Whatever you see in that Kantara and all, he already wrote 20 years ago. Brilliant. I read during my UPC time. Tambera. Again, he has written 2 versions of Ramayana. Brilliant. Virappa Moili. He was our Union Petroleum Minister. Awesome. Okay. So Masti Venkatesh Iyengar I am reading. So in the new, there are again some students suggested me a lot of books, but they are not yet translated. So I am waiting for that. Gauri Lankesh Reader I read. Gauri Lankesh Reader brought by. Yes. Not in English, but yeah. I am waiting for P. Lankesh books to be translated in English. I am waiting for that. Because in Gauri Lankesh chapter, her father and Chandrasekhar Kambar later had a fight with each other. So that's why P. Lankesh, I am waiting for his books. He is also very famous. Yeah, that is there. And recently, if you want to read new Kannada author, there is a author known as Vasudhendra. And recently I read his Teja Tungabhadra. Awesome. I used in my class also Teja Tungabhadra. Brilliant. Tejo is what? A river from Spain and Portugal. Tungabhadra is this. And it talks about Krishnadev Raya's empire that time. Okay. Tejo Tungabhadra. Vasudhendra. Vasudhendra. His earlier book is known as Mohana Swami. That is on the issue of a trans person, Mohana Swami. That is there. Okay. Then, yeah. So these are some of the authors which you can start with. And I think Pradeep sir can help you more because he reads some more Kannada, he teaches Kannada literature. And then Mankutti Manga Kagga, that sorry my pronunciation, but understand my emotions. I purchased it in what? English. I read it. Yeah. What? Gundappa. DVG. Yes, because she comes from there. It was suggested by Sapna ma'am, who used to work in Insights. So she suggested me, you read it. So I read it. Okay, so that is what it's there. You can start this with in the Kannada letter. Power of Subconscious, Joseph Murphy, we will talk about it. So she is asking about a book known as The Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That book is also awesome. So you can go with that. So what is the gist of this book is what? Whatever we tell our mind consciously, that ultimately becomes a part of our subconscious. So you have to be very conscious of what you are telling yourself, especially your self-talk. That's what I tell in the class. Don't underestimate yourself or don't talk negatively about yourself, because it is you who decides how the world will perceive you. So if you want, I can make a PDF available for you on the Telegram. The Power of Your Subconscious by Joseph Murphy. Again, that was in my, accidentally in my this face. Which wala? Second face. This wala. The Power of Subconscious Mind. Clear? Joseph Murphy. Brilliant book. Good. And he has also given techniques. How to train your subconscious mind. So affirmation is there. Visualization is there. Self-talk is there. Okay. That is how he asks you to what? Tap your conscious mind to train your subconscious mind. Are you getting it? So once you see, when you are learning a bike or car, you are learning via conscious mind. And after some point of time, it becomes subconscious. You don't have to think. That automatically you put your legs on brake, on accelerator, on clutch. That is what the power of subconscious mind. Consciously do certain things till it becomes a part of subconscious, then you don't have to take care of that. And that is what Robin Sharma also talks about, 21 days. Any habit to form takes 21 days. So 21 days to do it what? Consciously. So let's say you say that, sir, I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So 4 o'clock in the morning, first day you will not be able, still get up. 4 to 5 you will sleep by sitting, still fine, but get up at 4 o'clock. Second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. But ultimately your body gets channelized with that, and from 21st day, nobody can stop you. You already are in the habit. You have trained your subconscious mind that I am getting up at what? 4 o'clock. That is a good book. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So how now at this juncture, let's say you are in the UPSC process, how much time you should give? 1 hour is fine. 1 hour is fine. So 1 hour you can divide into, let's say, half an hour in the morning, half an hour before sleeping. So after you finish all your stuff, read half an hour, because reading also gives you good sleep also. You sleep with good thoughts also. That is there. But you will, don't laugh. My technique I will tell you. I steal time. So whenever I go to bathroom, I take a book with me. What you do, what innovation you do in the bathroom? Read, na? Read it. It's not me. Shah Rukh Khan also does the same thing. But he doesn't come out of the bathroom very easily. That's why Karan Johar says that once he goes into the bathroom, he's not going to come out 2 hours. But you have to come out, na? You have to attend classes, you have to go to library. You can't do that. So keep a simple slim book which you can take inside, read it and come out. That is what. And you can add in your time. So I feel always, during my time I used to read for 1 hour. Half an hour. In afternoon also, let's say you are feeling sleepy, I used to read in the afternoon hour. So it depends upon flexibility of your time, what you feel. But 1 hour is more than enough here. You get good sleep also. 1 hour is fine now at this juncture. Or let's say you have studied voraciously for 6 days. One day you can keep for yourself just for reading. And you can convince your mind that you are doing for what? Enhancing your social cultural capital. So it's not guilty. It's something which you are using for essay only. That's it. Or try to align your such books. Let's say I told you Uncertain Glory by Amartya Sen or Vivek Debroy. I will give you the name, don't worry. Getting India Back on Track. These are all books which can be used in UPSC also. So you can use it there. Or there's a beautiful book known as Incarnations. Or there's a book known by The Idea of India, which UPSC 2011-10 people used to use, by Sunil Khilnani. They used to do the same thing. So you can use that. So it's like what? Your UPSC preparation only. Okay. And wherever you go, so let's say you're traveling from outside, in metro you can read it. I still remember I finished Sydney Sheldon. When I was traveling from my engineering college every day, I used to do theatre. So the theatre where I used to go for practice, it was 2 hours away. So normal public bus, stand like this and see like this. That's it. Anybody pushes you, go around, but you will go with the book, na? Not an issue. See, when you are one with the book, Eklavya, nobody can deter you, na? So push, pull, doesn't give a damn. Roam around all, doesn't give a damn. You are one with the book. I finished a lot of books like that. Similarly, when I left my engineering also for 2 years, I was reading. A lot of because I didn't read a lot that time. But traveling also my home to that practice, it was 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours going, 2.5 hours coming. Huge cultural capital. Mumbai to Pune, still remember. From Mumbai I was going to Pune. So read Sudhamurti's Dollar Bahu. From same day, from Pune to Mumbai, I read Sudhamurti's this Mahashweta. Like that. So traveling time is the best time to read. Wherever you travel, because you sleep like this, sleep is also not there. People are what we say, crying out loud. So use your time. So now because my schedules is also very, lot of things are happening. So I use my time to travel. So it's not boasting, but recently I was flying from Bombay to London. So it was a flight layover at I think Abu Dhabi and then to London. 17 hours straight I was reading. I finished 2 books of Han Kang. One was vegetarian and one is human acts. Vegetarian got what? Nobel Prize this year. Nobel Prize for literature. Straight. But see the boosting of the confidence. Entire Han Kang was done like that. So use your traveling time very wisely. So if you're traveling, read. Great. Before sleeping, half an hour, make a habit to read. Don't sit with your mobiles. Go for digital detoxing. So I told you, the social media is very problematic. This. So now my New Year resolution, it was happening like that. So after getting up in the morning, I am not seeing my phone for 1 hour. And before sleeping, 2 hours, I don't see my phone. Anyhow, our lives are so entangled with gadgets. Full day we see the gadgets only. And that's why a lot of people also have left me. They felt that he is not answering my calls. They feel arrogance. But ultimately, it's your time. Yaar. If you don't treasure and preserve your time, it's lost. You can't buy it by paying any amount of money. And you are not here to cater everybody. So what is essential and what is center and what is periphery? You need to know. So digital detox and start embracing what? Print. It will enhance your capital and see your difference in 1 month. The way you are talking, see the literature reading reflects in your talking also. The way you speak, the way you deliberate. Are you getting this? Or else you will keep on talking crass only. This faculty is 3rd class. There's some here only. This Nikhil is 3rd class, 4th class. We'll keep on doing like that. But that doesn't hamper me. Na? It hampers your thoughts. Are you getting this? So try to be different. Difference is what? Reading. Clear? And one thing I will always tell you that in this process of reading, it's a protracted process. It will take time. But you need to have what? Patience. Book teaches you patience. Because immediately instant result will not there. See, this all crash things have came. Na? 15 minutes, they give you summary of the book and all. That is not going to help you. You will not get the essence of the book. I tried both. Doesn't help. Original reading of the book, what it enhances within you, it can't be replaced. Remember that. And that, see, always remember, I'm small, but I'm complete. I'm slow, but I'm steady. You take one month to read one book, still it's fine, but you read it. Don't worry about the speed. Try to what? Tap into what? Your innocence. See which books falls in which category. Innocence of the child. It should give you pleasure. It should help you. It should enhance you. Read for the sake of joy. Go for the eklavya. Okay. And selectively selective. Selectively selective what? Guard your time. Don't just waste your time unnecessarily. Clear? So half of the books when I go. So always whenever I travel, OGP 1 down, there is a guy who sells that. So I see the books, what he is selling. So you get to understand what the market is reading. Demand is equal to supply, basic law of economics. So whatever is demanded, he will bring that. Half of the books are love stories and half are what? This wala, self-motivation. So do you see that people are still stuck here and here? Getting this. And the people who become great, they go here. But here again there is a filter process. See the category of the books there. And hardly if you get, there would be some Nobel Prize winning or something. That's it. Acha, what is your what does your heart say or what you like? Great. Start. See, our thing is what? First to inculcate the habit of reading, I told you. Once you are enjoying the reading, then little bit you can turn, na? Thoda sa. So fiction, little bit non-fiction, little bit science. What is required? Are you getting this? See, Amartya Sen books, or let's say I'm telling Uncertain Glory, it's not enjoyable read. It's a tough read. You feel bored, but you don't leave that book because you are trained for reading. You continue it, and you know that it's better, and you know that you can grasp Amartya Sen because it's essential, and because you know to read. That's why you continue with that. So start with fiction. See, any starting point is great. Fiction is great. Start with what? Reclaiming your innocence. Where is that? Start to reclaim your innocence. So whatever helps you to connect with the book, it's great, because we are divorced from the books now. We are more attached to our mobile phones, more attached to our iPads or tablets. So we need to go for this. That is more better. Clear? So start anything which takes you there, still fine. So you can start, for example, which type of literature you like? So start with which wala? Novel. So start with Purna Chandra Tejasvi, Chidambar Rahasya. I told you. You can start with that. Your Anantmurthy's Bara is also good because it's on the life of an IAS officer. Okay. Once you get that, because these are short books, then you can graduate to a little bit S.L. Bhairappa. Little bit. Then Kuvempu is more bigger. Like that. So slowly. Once you are getting a grasp of Kannada literature, then graduate to other literature. Like that. Got it? 1 second. Acha. So non-fiction book, let's take an example. He says that, sir, if I am reading non-fiction book, so how do I know it will be helpful for me in essay? So let's take an example of a non-fiction book. Let's say Vivek Debreu's book, Getting India Back on Track. Okay. So if you open the book, Getting India Back on Track, the first chapter is what? An introduction of the book. An introduction is written by the author who is editing the book. Okay. So Vivek Debreu puts forth his ideas of economics, or what he feels about Indian economy. Isn't Indian economy there in GS3? There. So it talks about GDP, it talks about GNP, it talks about investment in the health, it talks about investment in the education sector, it talks about opening up the business sector, it talks about LPG, it talks about globalization. And if you feel that these things are important, these figures are important, keep a short notebook and just write it down. Because you are still in the initial stages. Keep a notebook, write it down. And these are the figures which you need to little bit mug up also sometimes, because you want to convert that book into your answer writing. Are you getting this? Like that. So there is a chapter on health. So primary health center, secondary health center and tertiary healthcare, here written like that. So if you feel that the data of, let's say, infant mortality rate is more better than what your economic survey data, or more better than that budget data, write down that data. So keep a note of, see, when you are writing a non-fiction book, try to take notes of, I'm telling you, try to take notes of data, because data, we say it's a new oil. Data is a good way to score marks in our mains answer writing. So filter out the data. And if you feel that, let's say, in one paragraph he has mentioned some idea which is very good, try to write it in a précis form, 2 or 3 lines, the same idea in your language, so that you at least know that what he is telling. This is what is nothing but what? The practice for your comprehension. What is the gist of this passage? They ask na, what is the central inference of this passage? This is how they ask in your CSAT paper. They give you a passage, it could be on environment, it could be on health, it could be on education, it could be on AI, any sector, and they ask you what? Central theme of the passage. So write the central theme in what? 2 lines, like that. You can do like that, but you have to maintain a book. Okay. See, those people who tell that I don't take any notes, all is there inside me, it happens, but it happens after a span of what? 20 and 30 years. But again, data has to be kept in mind, remember that. And for that data, you need to have a notes of that. Even today, I maintain my book of data and notes. If I feel that the data is good, same happens with the newspaper also. If the article is very good, I take the notes, like that. So fiction, let's say for some quote you like, or let's say in Purna Chandra Tejasvi, the Chidambar Rahasya, it starts with what? Emergency period. So let's say you're starting your essay, you can start with what? Purna Chandra Tejasvi's paragraph only, na? You start with the story, na? When you write the essay, you start with the story, start with that. In Purna Chandra Tejasvi's Chidambar Rahasya, there are 3 guys. And then you start your essay. Start that, put the background of that. So philosophical essays, you can use it. Are you getting this? Or we saw DVG's book also. Philosophy is there, na? Use it. Are you getting this? Ramayana, Mahabharata, use it philosophically. So let's say, for example, there is a question on morality. Karmanya vadika raste mahaphaleshu kadachana. It's more on action. Morality is what? Ethics in action, na? And Mahabharata is entire ethical book. Convert that into action. That is what Mahabharata is, or let's say this is talking about, or Bhagavad Gita talks about. Bhagavad Gita is what? Ethics in action, morality. And it's what? It's with a desired end, teleological end. See, everything is there. You have to fit in your syllabus. And this can happen when you have a exceptional grip on your syllabus. Exceptional grip. If I ask you GS1, you should tell, sir, this syllabus, this syllabus, this syllabus, this topic is there, this topic is there, like that. Sir, this topic comes in GS2, this topic comes in GS3. Sir, I read this book, it fits in what? This GS4 ka this topic, like that. Sir, it's a case study. I told you Bara. Bara is a case study for GS4. It's on the life of an IAS officer and a riot happens between Hindus and Muslims. What does an IAS officer do? And an IAS officer's child is stuck inside that riot. This is Bara. You are Anant Murthy. Case study, na? You are a district collector. A riot has started in your district and you get a phone call that your child is stuck inside that riot. What you will do? 20 marks. Write down. This is Bara. Are you getting this? In Bara also he has mentioned about William Wordsworth. So after that book ends, there is a interview of U.R. Anant Murthy. He has mentioned about a poem of William Wordsworth. So that Wordsworth poem I still have written with me, and I was preparing that time in UPSC. So that poem is still with me, like that. So I taken a note of that. See, it's humanly impossible to remember everything here. Sometimes you have to, if you want to remember that thing, take the notes, read it 4 or 5 times, it gets into your mind, or revise it again. That I did with what? Vivek Singh's book, Vivek Debroy's book. So read fix 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and then the data was fit. I used in GS2, GS3. For 2 years I was using the data, because data at least sustains for 3-4 years. That is how I did. So for non-fiction books, takes the notes. Fiction, just if you feel, write a 1 page, what you felt after reading that book. That's it. That is also called what? Daily journaling. I taught my students in the new year, I don't know who were there, a gag method, gratitude, affirmation and goals method. Samantha, our actress, practices that. So we did on January 1st. So one is what? Journaling. Write down. So you read Chidambar Rahasya, write down. I will tell you in the later part of the class. You can open your own blog. That blog should be not public, only for you. Write down on that. And you only read it. It will be what? A digital archive also. So you don't have to fill the books also. And when you want to revise, you can just open that, open your own blog and just see what you read. Bapre, I read so many books. One book, decide that I will write what? 1000 words or 1200 words, anyhow. And keep the blog what? Personal, no public. So you only read, na? And again your space is saved. That is how you can do. And it will also be what? A digital archival also for that. Now we have, let's say you use mobile phones. There is Google Docs. So number of phones you change, Google Docs, whatever you have written, it remains there. Or if you have Apple, so in that notes, you can use that in your MacBook also. You can use that in your what? iPads also. You can use in your mobiles also, like that. So whenever I get a good idea, let's say my laptop is not there, I write in what? Google Docs. And Google Docs is connected across to my tablet also. So even though I go there in my laptop and I open Google Docs, document which I typed on my mobile is already there, like that. So it remains what? A digital archive for me, like that. So non-fiction, take notes for that. Either in the book format, or let's say you write in books, you say, sir, I am not comfortable with online and all. Write in book, scan it and keep it. You can now scan by Adobe Scanner also, and that also is a backup. But it remains, I still have I will show you. After the class, I will show you my Adobe Scanner. 5-6 years ago, my answer which I have written, I still there with me. I still kept a documentation of that. Because you have to know what you are doing and what you are not doing. Yeah. No, if you're, let's say you picked up a book for leisure, okay, leisure. So take the notes while reading only. So either you can underline that, and on the side you just make a notation that later take it. Okay, so if you don't want to break the flow of your writing, so just have a pencil or pen, just underline it. Are you getting this? That's it. Or you can take after finishing the book. Or if you are so adamant and you feel that if I write it now, my flow will not be broken, So you can take it then there itself. Depends upon your technique, how you are comfortable. My personal thing depends upon books. So for example, if I am reading a very dense book, which is around 1000, 2000 pages, so I know that if I just keep it for later, I will not be able to accumulate that, what is there in my mind. So then there I do that. But if it's a short book, let's say of 300, 400 pages, so I read the entire book, mark it out, put some post-it pages, or let's say fold the pages of the book, and today only I did that. After finishing, I just make a notation of that, like that. So both I follow, depending upon the type of the book. Yeah. Which one? Which wala? Ikigai. Huh. हाँ माइज हाँ Okay, good. So his question is little bit diverse. He says I am reading different genres of books, but how it should be what implemented in my life. This is what you are asking. Yeah, great. So I'll tell you one example. 2015 I was reading the Hindu newspaper. See, it's not just book. Any written thing could be motivational for us. So there was a story of a Telangana farmer. The Telangana farmer just slept for 4 hours and doubled his prosperity. See, that time our prosperity is what clearing UPSC. That's it. But what I got inspired from that is what doing agriculture work is a back-breaking task. Very tedious, hard labor, your body pains and everything is done and you require rest. If a farmer can do that, sleeping for 4 hours, why can't I? So from next day itself, I started implementing that. See, 2-3 days, I was feeling sleepy, but after I told you that any habit takes some time to cultivate. But what matters is what persistence. Persisted. So now I just sleep for 4 hours a day. And people say that 6 hours, 8 hours. So we can talk on that later. Okay. And they sometimes send me the video also. Sir, you're telling something different and all. Well, I don't force you. Do what you feel. But I am still alive. I can run marathons. I run ultra marathons. So it worked for me. And as Buddha says that, don't do anything if just somebody else is telling. See that thing, whether it applies in your life, whether it's working for you. If it works, go for it. If it doesn't work, leave it. So entire journey of, let's say, Abdul Kalam, very inspirational, okay, in different setting. But if some things, let's say his grit or his persuasion or his ability to not accept defeat when he was rejected the admission in the engineering, still persisting, you got persistence. So how to apply that persistence? Let's say you're giving mock test. You now got, let's say, 30 marks out of 200. Okay. Some person will get demotivated. Again next 30, 6 times you are getting 30. But what Abdul Kalam taught you? If your dreams are so high, if your wings are of fire, and if you have fire in your heart, nobody can stop you. 30, I will make it 35, 40, 45. So persistence every day. That is what Ikigai also talks about. It's a way of life. It's a Japanese way of life. So you have to apply those ethics in your life and make it what? Morality. That is what we have to do. So if any time I told you, any time I feel when I read the books, if something appeals to me, I immediately apply. So this digital detox I read somewhere. Okay, there's a book known as Deep Work. I read that, so I started digital detox. That's it. Marathons. I read a book on marathon by Haruka Murakami, Japanese author. I started running marathons. I was 110 kgs. Yeah, I was 110 kgs. I started running marathons after that. Okay, 110 kg, again 65, again 120 kgs, 20. Again came back. This is persistence. This is what somewhere Abdul Kalam because I read his Wings of Fire that time. He must have impacted me. And always when you read a book, I always feel that it's always in your subconscious. It doesn't go. It's there somewhere in the subconscious, somewhere hidden, and that forces your thoughts to act in that manner. That's it. So never ending or never dying attitude, or the cosmopolitan culture of Abdul Kalam. Being born in a Tamil family, being religiously Muslim, and born in the temple town of Rameshwaram. That is what the beauty of Abdul Kalam. And it's not rag to riches. It's the story of what? Passion, patience, and persistence to reach the top and reaching the highest post ever. That is what Abdul Kalam is all about. Same thing in the life. Na? So we will not face difficulties like Abdul Kalam, but our difficulties are not less than Abdul Kalam also. In fact, they are more bigger now. More competition is there. So what Abdul Kalam teaches you? That's it. The power of education. If you want to change your status in your life, it's only education which can give you that boost. That is there. So always there is a beautiful thing I will tell you. I read a beautiful book by a person known as Napoleon Hill. Anybody read Napoleon Hill? Yeah, Napoleon Hill. So Napoleon Hill does a technique. I'm just attaching to his question. Napoleon Hill says that we are plagued with so many problems. How to solve them I don't get. So what I do is that I study the biographies of greats. So I read the biography of Einstein. I read the biography of, let's say, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington. Okay. So I read their biographies. That means what? I lived their life. And then what I do is that every week there is a holy hour. Holy hour. In that holy hour, I close all the lights and sit. And in that meeting, I call all these people. So on my left side, Einstein is sitting. On my right side, Washington is sitting. There Thomas Jefferson is sitting. There Benjamin Franklin is sitting. And I have written a list of what? My problems. And I ask these people, how should I solve these problems? And surprisingly, you may call it accidentally, they all answer my problems. And this is what I apply. And it's a very personal, it's a very emotional, and it's a very sacred technique for me. People may understand and may not understand, but every week meet Einstein, every week I meet Thomas Jefferson, every week I meet George Washington, and every week I meet Benjamin Franklin. So you may be not knowing, but they live with me every week like that. So this is what I just attached your thing, how they call. So these people solve his problems. Are you getting this? So you can just, that's why I told you, no? Today morning only I ordered 2 books. Again, to gift somebody, Walter Isaacson's Steve Jobs ka biography, and one I ordered a biography of Gary Kasparov. So he was a competitor of Vishwanathan Anand. He was one of the best chess players. So read it. So, and why reading biographies is good is because there is a statement by Karl Marx in the 18th Brumaire of Louis Napoleon. History repeats first as tragedy, then as farce. So they have lived their life. They have put forth in front of you their lives, the mistakes they have made. Why? So that you should not repeat those mistakes. You should learn from their mistakes, historical mistakes, so that it should not become farce when you do it again. That is what. Why? Because the possibility of making mistakes reduces, because already they have made the mistake in your life, you will not make it. That's why I read more biographies also. That's why I was very interested when I read that Ullas Karant's book on Shivram Karant. Are you getting this? Huh. Wow, Virginia Woolf. What does a woman want? A room. Huh? Yeah. Absolutely. Go to my Instagram page. I quoted Virginia Woolf's quote that a room of one owns. What does a woman want? A room, some money, and some space to write her own fiction. And when you give a space to a woman to write fiction, she will demolish all your literature. That is what Virginia Woolf. Arundhati Roy, brilliant. Her new book is coming this year. God of Small Things, Booker Prize. Arundhati Roy, brilliant. And then third, which wala? Breast Stories? Mahashweta Devi. Acha, Mahashweta Devi, Bengali. Great. See, Virginia Woolf. Acha, Mahesh Dattani, Place of Mahesh Dattani, Mumbai wala. Ah, yes. Yeah, so I will tell you. So for example, first you talked about Virginia Woolf. In GS1 you have a chapter on society, or you have a section on society. There you can use. In GS2 you have women's movement or women. There you can use. GS3 also, when we talk about economics or exclusion of the women, if you see the 2015 question, that care economy, you could start your question with what? Virginia Woolf. GS4 already you can write about women. And essay, if the question they ask on women's, let's say essay is there, you can use your Virginia Woolf there. Are you getting this? Brilliant. Right? I gifted my students Virginia Woolf's copies. When I was living Jaipur, I was teaching there. I gifted everybody Virginia Woolf's different books. Virginia Woolf, brilliant. And also for political science students, you have a topic of feminism. Virginia Woolf, you can start with that. So she comes in the first wave of feminism. Very great. Great. I am also. So if you want to read, do read a book like Think Like a Feminist or Thinking Like a Feminist by Nivedita Menon. It's there on our Telegram. So not thinking, seeing like a feminist. Do read this. Beautiful book. All guys, so compulsory read. We need it more. Seeing Like a Feminist. It's there on our Telegram channel. I put already PDF. Seeing Like a Feminist. Nivedita Menon. Brilliant book. Okay, I mentioned in our classes also when I teach LPG that Operation Pink Chaddi. If somebody has attended, I taken from here. Yeah, Pink Chaddi I took from here. Got it? Yeah. So Arundhati Roy, it gives you what? A societal picture of what? Feudal Kerala. That is what Arundhati Roy's book is there. And breast stories, Hazar Chaurasi Ki Maa, brilliant. She writes, and on our Telegram channel I have put her Draupadi, her retelling of Draupadi. Yeah, Mahashweta Devi. Brilliant. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody wanted to ask something? Yeah. Two questions are there. Now Nexus has come, na? New come. You can see, don't put in best and all. Read it. Okay, read it. We have to develop our paradigm. That's it. Nexus has come now because it talks about AI. If you want the pirated copy, I will give you PDF. But don't tell that I gave you. Yeah. Aurelius. Yes. Good. Acha. So pause it, read only one. Depends upon. So initially if you're reading, so let's say Marcus Aurelius, you can put in what, let's say morning, because that is the best time to read Marcus Aurelius Meditations. And if you want still to pursue with Quran, you can read in the night, like that. Or if you feel still feeling that it's jumbling up, read entire Marcus Aurelius, it could be finished, and Quran you can take more time. Yes. Best book, Meditations. Oh, anytime, yeah. Mother tongue, every tongue you can read. Great. Mother tongue, you should first read it. You are from Karnataka, you should first read Kannada literature. So means writing, you meet me later, I will tell you how to, we will do some exercise, how to convert your, how to improve your English. Because your thinking is happening Kannada. That is what problem. We will try to change in English. We will do that, not an issue. But read voraciously Kannada, because you only can read Kannada literature, I can't. So you already have an advantage over me. Are you getting this? See, this is your what, X factor. Not everybody has that. Only you can read that. That is. See, I want to read more Purnachandra Tejasvi. I can't because half of this work is not translated. What should I do? But you can read it. Are you getting this? You have the advantage, read it. Clear? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I tell the students when I took answer writing class, I think you can start your answers with quotes also. We start our world history answer with what? Charles Dickens, Hard Times. It was the best of the times, it was the worst of the times. It's from Charles Dickens. History repeats first as tragedy, then as farce. Karl Marx. We took it. Yes, you can start with. You can end also with it. In fact, one of the answers I started with a poem of UNESCO 2003 called Colored. So poems also you can use it. Essay, you can use poems also. Clear? Yes, you can use it. Definitely you can use it. It enhances your answers. Yeah. Yes. Yet history, my option in 2016 was history. I started with what? American Civil War answer. I started with a poem known as Colored, Colourd. Colored. It was 2003 UNESCO prize winner. Started with that. Yeah. Maya Angelus. Maya Angelus, I know why a cage bird sings. Still I fly. Still I rise. Start with that. Okay. I had that posted in my cubicle only where I used to study. Still I rise. Some poems I used to use that. I used to use the poem of Man of La Mancha. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear the unbearable sorrow, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow the star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. And these lines are very important. To be willing to march to hell for a heavenly cause. I am ready to go to hell, but the reason should be what? Heaven. That is what Japanese poem, Man of La Mancha. Okay, still, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the good God made them all. So I used to start my environment answers with this. So we are diversing from the environment. In fact, Amitav Ghosh's new book, Derangement, starts with a poem only. So you can definitely do that. Yeah. Somebody asked. Done all questions? Okay. Then you want to break for 5 minutes? No. Okay. So then students, what I wanted to do with it is how to retention, which already you had asked, and strategies to read. So how to retain, same I discussed here. How to retain the stuff. Students, you can make your what? You can start journaling. So if it's a fiction book, you can just write in 1,000 words about the book. In 1,000 words, you don't have to summarize the book. Summary is not required. 1,000 words, what you felt while reading and what lessons did it give. This is one. Second, what I expect from you is what? Any incident that impressed you. So first is what? Journaling. So journaling, I told you two stuffs. So either you can go for paper format or either you can go for digital format. You can start your blog also, but don't make it public, personal, so that your space in the mobiles or the laptops will not be taken up. So digital space you can acquire. Clear? But everything will be recorded properly. You can edit it again. So digital space also you can start with what? WordPress is there, blog. Done? So first is what? Journaling. Second, shall I? Go for post-it notes and attach them at suitable pages. Post-it notes. I still have. So whenever I open a book, I still have that. So I know that, oh, this line is, again I look at it. And again, along with that, you can also use underlining. If I am reading the same book next time, I try to use a different pen. I know that it's my second reading. So I have my own color codes. First reading, second reading, third reading, fourth reading, like that. There are only certain books which, inspire you to come back to them. So this is how I do. So color coding I follow. So whenever I am reading first, I follow with what? A black pen. Second reading is with what? A red pen. Okay. Third reading is with green pen. Okay. And fourth reading is with blue pen. Like this is color coding which I follow. Okay. Like that. And notes I write on the side. If I feel that the notes are very important, third, a notebook. And dedicatedly taking notes. Why I am talking about notebook? Because still your UPC has not gone online. So you need to have the practice of writing. or you will lose the touch. Notebook, I maintain that. Beautiful thing. Put a date every day. Clear? Okay. Then again some strategies which I saw. Yeah, post-it, blogs is there, short notes are there. Yeah, done. This is how you do this. Clear? Then next thing, students, which you are asking, any doubts in this? Notebooks, you know, journaling, I told you. What is journaling? Somebody tells you. It's not the summary of the book. It's what you felt while reading the book. One. Second, what lessons did you derive from the book? And third is what? Any incident that impressed you. That. The memories of that incident. Okay. So let's say, for example, in Purnachandra Tejaswi's book, Chidambar Rahasya. So they start with what? The emergency period. And they start with that professor. Okay. Who is very self-centered and he feels that Indira Gandhi is going to arrest him only. It's a comical character. You can start with that character. So that impressed you, Zabardast. Or if you go for his book known as Jugari Cross. So Jugari Cross, that daily transactions or spot market transactions, that impressed you. You can go with that. Are you getting this? That is there. Or if I was reading Kuvempu's that The House of Kanuru, and there is a character of a childless child whose mother is not there, and he is waiting for his father for the cart to come, and the cart comes alone. Then he comes to know that his father has died. And he wants to cry, but where he will go and cry? Because he feels that before his father was going to arrive, he was beaten by a person to death by some other person, and you know that a motherless child, nobody cares. Father is not there at home, and he is just waiting for his father to come. That when I come now, my father, I will tell, this guy tried to kill me, this guy tried to beat me, and my father will come and beat this guy. And he is waiting for that. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And then the cart, and his father is a cart driver of that feudal lord. The cart comes alone. Somebody says his father is fallen ill, he will come after 2 months. Then he comes to know that his father has died. Who he will tell? The child got etched in my mind. And for an entire book when I was reading, I was just trying to figure out what happened with that child. A motherless, a fatherless child, an orphan child. That is nothing but what? Empathy, GS4. That is an example of empathy. I could relate with him. Empathy. Clear? In that. This is how you should write. Paper or digit. So around 1000 words is fine. Clear? I am talking in words because that is how UPSC asks you. 500 words, 250 words, 150 words. And then we went for what? Post-it notes. You can use it. You know what is post-it, na? Yellow color. Colorful also is there. And notebook. Dedicatedly taking the notes. Just like I told him, some facts, some figures, some, let's say, some lines which impressed you, take it so that you can use your essay, ethics, answers, anywhere you can use it. Or Virginia Woolf I quoted. Okay, what does a woman want? To write a fiction, a room of her own and some money. If you give that to women, then woman doesn't need a man. And the patriarchal system has kept what? A woman from owning her home, because all our properties are registered on the name of a man. You don't allow a woman to go outside and work, keep her in her house, dependent on what? First his father, then his husband, then his son. If you remove this, a woman can write fiction. And fiction is dangerous, because fiction you can write anything. And when that anything a woman can write, woman will write all truth. And that anything is not digestible by male. Remember that. Yeah? Got it? Yeah. Yes. Clear? Any doubts still here? So last leg, I am just moving. This is nothing but, students, time, as you had asked. So students, there is a beautiful technique by Harvard University, is known as bracketing. So bracketing is nothing but, students, bracketing your slots of day. So those students who come to me for asking the guidance for how to study, what time to study, we do the same thing, bracketing. We bracket the slots. So students, bracket your slots. Let's say morning slot, let's say an afternoon slot, let's say a night slot for reading. I told you entire these 3 slots should what? Submit to what? 1 hour. Maximum I am telling you. So morning you read for, let's say, half an hour. Afternoon you don't want to read. You don't want to break your studies. And evening, just go for half an hour before sleeping. That's it. Bracket it, but define it. And your mind also becomes more receptive. Clear? Yeah. Because ultimately after studying entire day, and if you are reading, let's say, a good fiction, a good book, which you are looking forward, so you also study more better, because a pie is waiting for you in the form of what? Some pages at night. That's it. So always, students, when you live your day, so there are 2-3 things which you do. First is what? Something which you look forward to. So that looking forward to is what? This reading. So either you can keep entire 1 hour if you want a flow of thoughts at night. Read it and sleep peacefully. Clear? That's it. Don't say, sir, I don't have time and all. This is not you are doing. You are doing it for yourself. Okay, because nobody is going to come you and sing you Purnachandra Tejasvi Chidambar Rahasya. Sleep my baby Purnachandra. They will not tell you, na? Every day. You have to read by yourself. Whatever has to be sung and told, our mothers and fathers did. Clear? That's what. Bracket the timings. And again, I will not tell you read in the morning only, night only. I always keep it very organic and flexible. Depends upon you. You know your timetables more better. If you are a better morning person, go for your studies. Evening you can just relax your brain. And brain also requires relaxing. Sleep is one of the things to relax. People have overhyped sleep, frankly. Overhyped sleep. We have been told, see, have you known? People told that 8 hours sleep very important. Then it came to 6 hours. Na? Earlier, have you heard 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours? Now it has come to 6 hours. After 10 hours, they will tell what? 4 hours is more than enough. I'm going to tell you, this is going to happen. Sleep is overhyped. This will work also for what? Sleep, good sleep. You don't need quantity to sleep, you need quality to sleep. This is nothing but bracketing technique. Yes. Okay. So here I will pause some questions, then we will go for a book list recommendations. Yeah. If you want to ask, you take 2 minutes of yours and tell me. Till then I can have a cup of coffee. Yeah, you can ask. I can drink and I can just answer you. Yeah, or are bapre. Online students I didn't see only. Oh, I'm so sorry, online students. Who is from classroom? Soumya, hi. Hi, Soumya. Mr. Sohail, India versus Pakistan. Score 153 for 155 for 3. Overs. Aspirant. Nahin. This is score. Watch this class. Don't go to watch cricket. So, please start your INSIGHTSIAS batch at Pune, Maharashtra. Oh, R, somebody, F me. I didn't understand. What is F me? Okay. Author's language. Reading humble. Okay. Yeah. I got the question, so you'll address that. Yeah. Yeah. Anything? Beginner can start with any book. So if you are, who is beginner? You? Acha, okay. Okay. So what is your genre? Whether you read Kannada? Start with English. Okay, you can start with Sudha Murthy. Simple language, good. So you can start with her Mahashweta, better book. Mahashweta is there. Then there is a beautiful book which I like, Gently Falls the Bakula. Bakula is what? Bakula flower. Okay. Then there is a recently released book, The Circle of Life. That is also good. Light reading, Sudha Murthy is light reading. Then again, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Write. Okay. Then Milk Stories, Sudha Murthy. Wise and Otherwise are there. Yeah. This is there. Yes. So, generally, those who want to start, so you can start with either Kannada literature, and if you want to start with English, you can go with Sudha Murthy. She is a very light read, but delightful. Okay, delightful read. Easy language, nothing matlab tense to wala, and you also relate to it a lot. Her all settings are in Dharwad or either in Bangalore or either in USA. Only 3 places come. Okay, that's it. Clear? Yeah. So you feel like na, she is catching a train. She meets a lot of strange, good characters. I haven't found. I tried in trains, but I never found. I tried to do Sudhamurti because once you're influenced with the author, you try to do the same things. But Sudhamurti always get very good people to talk. Salah, people don't give me space only in train. People use how Sudhamurti gets it. I always used to ponder, but it's a good start. Yeah, yeah. Anything else? Okay. So students, let's go with the book recommendations. So tell me students, which genres you want, I will give you. Fiction first? Non-fiction. So first students, we will go for non-fiction, which could be used for UPSC. Okay. So first I told you Bibek Debroy. It's what, getting India. How much you want? 5-5 is okay or 10-10? 5-5, okay. 10-10, okay. India, back on track. Okay. Then there is Amartya Sen and John Rees. Okay, Amartya Sen and John Rees. It's called Uncertain Glory. Uncertain Glory. And there is a very, I love this book, Revati Lal. It's called Anatomy of Hate. Then there is Sunil Khilnani. His 2 books are there. Okay. The Idea of India. And there is one more, Incarnations. Beautiful book. Incarnations. Incarnations I used in my UPC preparation. They have given a quote. Incarnation means what? 50 Indians who defined the idea of India. There they have Krishna Deva Raya. Okay, Krishna Deva Raya used to write in Telugu, na? So they have given the couplet of Telugu. Amukta Malyada. Taken from it. The Idea of India, Incarnations. Self-improvement also I will do, don't worry. Then, shall I? Then Raghuram Rajan's book is good, shall I? Writing. I will write here. Getting India back on. No, Raghuram Rajan is different. Sorry. Why I am loving in Vivek. Raghuram is what? Saving capitalism from the capitalist. Then recently our Abhijit Sen, Abhijit, Nobel Prize winner. He has come with a book known as Chalk. CHHUNK, Chalk. Food and Economics. Shall I? Then very good book, Chalk. chalk. I told you Nivedita Menon, very important. Seeing like a feminist. There is a book by Josie Joseph called A Feast of Vultures. Very important book. A Feast of Vultures. Then there is Mark Tully. No full stops for India. There is P. Sainath. Everybody loves a good drought. Everybody loves a good drought. Again, Josie Joseph, one more book is there. A Silent Coup. Silent Coup. Okay. And there is one more book, The Identity Project by Rahul Bhatia. Shall I? Okay, then there is a series, Rahul Bhatia. Then Arundhati Roy, we have Walking with the Comrades. You get a glimpse of the Nakshal movement also. Lot of things are there. You can come later and ask me topic wise. I will give topic wise list also. Okay, if you want to read books on Nakshalism, if you want to read something, I can give. So these are what? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 happened. Na? So you do this and then come to me. I will tell you more. Clear? Yeah. Then, so non-fiction. Now you want what? Fiction. So fiction for us. First, let's go for fiction. Now we'll go pan India. Okay, pan India. Let's go. Let's start from Karnataka. So going to go for, I am just writing name of the author for Karnataka because you are more better than me. So we can write Purnachandra Tejasvi, and before his father Kuvempu. Kuvempu's both books are available in English. Okay, you can go for that. Kuvempu and Purnachandra Tejasvi. And you can go for S.L. Bhairappa. Then you can go for also Masti. Then you can go for DVG. And I happened to read a very good Kannada novel 2 months ago. It's called Om Namo. Om Namo. It's by Shantinath Desai. Do read it. It has got Sahitya Academy Award from State of Karnataka. Om Namo. Brilliant. On Jainism in Karnataka. Jainism in Karnataka. Om Namo. I'm just writing here. Om Namo. Okay. Om Namo. Then if you go for this is to Devanura Mahadeva also is there, but along with him you can read Siddhalingaya also. Orukeri. Then along with, if you are reading both, then you can go for application, D.R. Nagaraj. We forgot Girish Karnad also, so I told you, you know better than me. Girish Karnad is also there. Your Anant Murthy also is there. Then this Vivek Shanbag is there. Okay, you can add on, lot of books are there. Then second, if you want to go, let's go for Tamil literature. Tamil you can go for Perumal Murugan is good. Perumal Murugan, I am giving two authors, Imayam, brilliant. Perumal Murugan and Imayam. Perumal Murugan's Pyre was shortlisted for a Booker Prize. Pyre, Pyre. Recently his new book has come, Students Etched in My Memory. My article is going to come in Outlook soon. I will share with you on the group on that book. Imayam, already it has come. You can read my article on Imayam. Brilliant Imayam. Any book of Imayam, read it. Just write Imayam on your Amazon, you will get a lot of books of his. Imayam. Beast of Burdens is there. Brilliant. Perumal Murugan and Imayam you can read. Both are translated in English. Third, if you go to Telugu literature. So Telugu literature you can go for Amukta Malida, Krishna Dev Raya, and Telugu Geeta Ramaswamy is good. Very important person, her fantastic book called Land, Guns and Caste. It talks about Naxalite movement in Telangana, a woman in Naxalite movement of Telangana. Okay, student of Osmania University, Land, Guns and Caste. Brilliant. Geeta Ramaswamy. Land, Guns and Caste. And there is one more book. If you happen to see Rajnikant's movie, Kabali, he is reading a book in the jail. That book is nothing but My Father Balia. My Father Balia. Then also if you want to read more about the core Hyderabad from the perspective of Muslims, there is a beautiful author known as Sky Baba. Sky Baba. Not many people know. Awesome, Sky Baba. Then there is also a person, Kansha Elia Shepherd. Brilliant. Kansha Elia Shepherd. So I'm just writing Kansha. Okay. So he told Honorable Prime Minister that, Prime Minister, you are wrong. You talk about social distancing. India is already social distanced. Better call it as what? Disease distancing. In COVID we say na social distancing, social distancing. We are already social distance. Male and female are what? Socially distance. Caste is what? Socially distance. Religion is what? Socially distance. So better call it as what? Disease distancing, not social distancing. So he was the person. Kansha Elia Shepherd. Kansha Elia, brilliant man. Kansha Elia Shepherd. Shepherd community comes. His beautiful book, From Shepherd Boy to an Intellectual, a person who goes taking sheep for grazing, to an intellectual of India. Kansha Elia Shepherd. Okay. Kansha Elia Shepherd. So these are 2-3 books of Telugu. A lot of books are there, but you will get confused. Then Telugu. Then Malayalam. Malayalam literature is very vast. So little bit if you want to read a feminist literature of Malayalam, it's what? J. Devika. Okay. Now, Sandhya Mary is also in top form. Sandhya Mary is on top form. Then there is a beautiful author, you should read her, Sarah Joseph. Awesome. Feminism, feminist literature in Malayalam, Sarah Joseph. So she has written about Wali and Sugriv in Ramayana. Sarah Joseph. So she has written from the perspective of Wali. Brilliant. Sarah Joseph is there. Then, yeah, these are two, you can just go through it. Okay. Then if you go, then Punjabi. Okay. Punjabi, there is this person, what? Changiya Rukh. There is Balbir Singh Madhopuri. This I will not give more. See, when you are writing your answers, it should be federally balanced. They should not trace your location that you are from Karnataka. So you have to balance your answer by giving the examples. Balbir Singh Madhopuri's book is beautiful. Changiya Rukh. Okay, Changiya Rukh. Then there is also Nanak Singh Rattu. Okay. Amrita Pritam also, brilliant. So Amrita Pritam is there. You can also, if you are bringing that, so bring also Khushwant Singh, the train to Pakistan. Okay. Kashmiri if you want to read. So there is a poems by Lal Ded. L-A-L, Lal Ded. Lal Ded. Then there is Saifuddin Soz. Saifuddin Soz, S-O-Z. Lal Ded, Saifuddin Soz. Beautiful book. Firoz Rather. Firoz Rather. Awesome book known as The Night of Broken Glass. Awesome. Firoz Rather. The famous author Basharat Peer, B-A-S-H-A-R-A-T, Basharat Peer. He has written an awesome book known as The Curfewed Night. Award-winning book, The Curfewed Night. So it gives you the picture of insurgency in the Kashmiri movement. Kashmir, what happens there. Basharat Peer, Firoz Rather, Saifuddin Soz is a politician from there. So you get to know the political situation also. And Lal Ded. Lal Ded is a mystic poet. Brilliant, 14th, 15th century. You look after Bhakti movement here, na? Lal Ded is there. Awesome. Not talked about, but she is woman. If you bring her perspective in your answers, more you will get. Phulan Devi you have na? Naxalism. Yes. Phulan Devi's autobiography is available. Biography is also. Yeah. But Phulan Devi was not Naxal. Phulan Devi was fighting against feudal. Naxalism is different. 1967, Charu Muzamdar. That is different, and Phulan Devi's rebellion was different. So she was fighting against what caste? Thakurs there, who had raped her and killed her husband. Feudal system there. Okay. Better, but thoda sa it is politicized. That's why I didn't recommend. If Jaishankar as a bureaucrat would have written, fantastic. Little politicization has happened, but you can read it. Good. See, any book is good. As Jaishankar also you can read. So some will say India, that is Bharat also is good, but again politicized is there. So try to be away from politicization. See, for example, let's say we may like Jaishankar, but let's say the paper checker may not write Jaishankar then. Got it? So when you are writing answers for external affairs, try to use either ex-bureaucrats who are now not in service, they are now in the cooling period or something. So that gives what? A sense of neutrality. Okay. So like that, use that. So there is V.N. Khanna is there, Shiv Shankar Menon is there. So he has fantastic book known as Choices. Nirupama Roy, Nirupama is there, Nirupama Dutt. She was our what? Ex-foreign secretary. Okay, Sujata is there. These are all people who write better on what? External affairs. Grip is there. C. Raja Mohan is there. Then there is now Happy Moon Jacob is there, who writes in The Hindu. Happy Moon Jacob. He writes on Israel, Palestine a lot. Clear? These people are important. Happy Moon Jacob's book has not now come on Israel and Palestine now, recently. Clear? So try to, one thing, try to avoid politicized book. Matlab those who are already serving in the government and all. So maybe, though they may be neutral, but maybe it feel that little bit biasness is there. Clear? So Kashmir is done. Then what is pending? What you want more? Very important. Northeast, technically this is a very bad term. We should not write Northeast because Manipur is different, okay. Nagaland is different, Mizoram is different, but just if you want to read, Eastern Kair is there, okay. Then there is Hana Lalanpui, okay. And there is Sanjeev Barua. Okay. That's clear. Which wala? Army and defense. What you want? Charge up. So I think that Vikram Sampath's Brave Hearts is there. Vikram Sampath. But why I didn't recommend you Vikram Sampath? Because Vikram Sampath has been alleged of plagiarism. That he copies from other material and doesn't give it. But that is there. Or you can go for let's say Sam Manikshaw's and all their biographies are there. You can go and read that. So there is a, if you want, there is a India Fearless for Men. Then what about women? You can read them. I haven't read that because I am that men. If I see that title men, I will not buy it. So if you want to read, so there is a beautiful book by army man known as Sarkari Musalman. Sarkari Musalman is Lieutenant Zahiruddin Shah, the brother of Nasiruddin Shah, who was the army chief. So he Sarkari Musalman. Sarkari Musalman, that is good. So it also gives you army perspective from inside. Then there are biographies of Karyappa. So you can read that. There is biography of Subendranath Joginder Singh also is there. Subedar Jogindranath Singh is there. So you can read that. And already patriotism movies are coming so much. Recently that Amaran came. So that is there. So you can document that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. This is what Northeast. Baki to, see every Sunday, today's paper, they keep on visiting the books or they give book reviews. So you know that what is available in the market newly. That's it. Clear? And somebody was asking self-help books. So just for that. So those who are in the second stage. So you can start with Robin Sharma. Second is what Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now. Third, there is what now new. Darius Forex, Think Straight. Okay. Then there is Edward de Bono, Thinking Hats, 6 Thinking Hats. Edward de Bono is there. Clear? Then there is Mark Manson. I can't take the name. The Subtle Art of Not Giving. Beep. That is there. Mark Manson. But I would recommend you to, if you, let's say for example, if you are going for self-improvement or self-help you want, rather than this all crap, this all borrow from where? All the best biographies. So somebody asked Yuval Noah Harari. So that Dwivedi, Lalantapwala, he was interviewing him and he asked him a question. What did you read? What did you read last year? Which books inspired you? He told that I was inspired by the biography of Roman Emperor Justinian. So biographies. So go for good biographies. So biographies of, let's say for example, Marcus Aurelius is there. He's reading Meditations. So it's what his diary maintenance, meditation is there. So go for Steve Jobs, go for Bill Gates. Now recently British ex-Prime Minister Tony Blair's new book has come, Leadership. Awesome book is there. You can read that. Again I told you this autobiography of a yogi, Virat Kohli's favorite book. That is also good. Are you getting this? So these are the good books. Learn from the mistakes and biographies of these people. This will help you like anything. Clear? These people do what? From the biographies, they do what? Make notes and bring out their own book. That is what they do. Same. So if you see the videos of any Robin Sharma and all, he goes to Rome and all, sees there and just writes the books there. So seeing the beauty of Rome and all, Greek and all. So you can go for this, self-help books. Okay, so I think their queries also has been solved. Yes, Meghna, you are right. I read some fiction, Chetan Bhagat, and some biographies. I want to shift to non-fiction. I started my during reading it. I don't get interest or I will sleep. I just drop. Okay, you drop. So if you are not feeling, see, non-fiction, I already told you, it's boring. See, some things in life, see, always remember that. I always tell my mother told me, I tell it to her when she is not following. Something in life, okay, have not to be done just because you like it, but you have to do it because they are necessary. Okay, so as a necessity, you have to do it. Not everything will appeal to you. See, nobody likes to sit in the library for 18 hours or 17 hours a day. Remember that. Nobody loves that. We are doing for what necessity is there. And necessity is the mother of all inventions. Remember that. So, you feel sleepy, go, put water on your face, again sit. That is the best solution. If you don't feel it, keep it for some time, again revisit it. Because we don't have an option. Remember that. If you keep options in life, you will run back because you have something to run away. If you cut out the options from life, you don't have to run away, you have to confront them. That is what Tanaji Malusare did when Shivaji Maharaj sent him to capture the fort of Sinhagad, which was earlier known as Kondana. Because the army was so big and Tanaji Malusare's army, which was representing Shivaji Maharaj, was so small and people started running away. So what did Tanaji Malusare did? He went back and cut down all the ropes. So if you want to run away from the battle, jump and die. So no options. So you have only one option. What? Fight. And ultimately they won. Clear? So don't see always it as what? Interest, or you like it or you don't like it. Sometimes it's just necessary. You have to do it. You don't have any option. Clear? See, always remember that all these big people, they say that we do same things repeatedly, which is boring. Our life is boring, but that boring only makes us what we are. Clear? That's it. So you feel like whenever you watch movies and all, you feel that, oh, what great is there. But if you go to film set, you will be bored like hell. Bored like hell. Well, can't imagine this they have to do and what we see on the screen. Clear? But boring is what? A trait of an intellectual. Boring is a trait of a great man or a great person. Clear? That's it. Michelangelo, see. Okay. All people, great people, they are boring. So be boring, enjoy yourself. That's it. Yeah. So I didn't give some Marathi and all, you know that. So we have done considerable. Hindi literature already, Nirmal Verma, all these people are there. Don't have to do that. But we want a federal representation. Clear? If you want more books, you can come to me personally, bring the topic, I will give you a list of books on that topic. Not an issue for me. Clear? Yes. Anything more? Science and text. So science fiction now recently Orbit has come by Samantha Harvey, which won a Booker Prize. Samantha Harvey. Again, there is a biography of Einstein. Brilliant. Yeah. Biography of Einstein also. Science, mixture, philosophy, that is there. Einstein is there. Okay. Samantha Harvey's Orbit is there. Good book. Then we have a beautiful author known as, if you are very interested, Jayant Narlikar. Write down. Jayant, J-A-Y-A-N-T, Jayant, J-A-Y-A-N-T, Jayant Narlikar, N-A-R-A-L-I-K-A-R. The best person to write science fiction in India, Jayant Narlikar. He is the president of IUCA, which is situated in Pune University. That is there. Yeah. Read his books, all Trojan horse and all. He has that when that unidentified vehicle comes, aerial spaceships, he has written about that. Yeah. Anything more? Documentaries also. So post class field documentaries also, they are good. So HBO, great documentaries is there. So just visit HBO. Netflix now, they have a documentary on Hitler. They have documentary on Winston Churchill. There is a beautiful web series known as Crown. There's a beautiful web series known as, I told you this, Borgen, Borgen, Borgen. Awesome. Okay. Then there is on, earlier on Disney Hotstar, now on Geo Hotstar. It's Malcolm X and Luther. So clash between two people, or clash not, a syncretism between two people, Martin Luther Jr., civil rights movement, and Malcolm X, a radical Black Panther type. Okay, that is there. So on Netflix also World War I is there, World War II is there, World War I, World War II, Hitler already I told you. Then there is great dictators also. So those who are dictators, Batista, they have also given Saddam Hussein. Then there is Hitler, there is Mussolini. That is different. That is different. How to become a tyrant. So lot of how to become a tyrant is there. Lot of documentaries are there. And the beauty is that, you know, because of this digital things, you see one, again suggestion comes. Same, suggestion. This is how you proceed. You start one, you will find your links. Similarly, when you read a book, you like the book, go back to the bibliography. So there are a lot of books which are mentioned. If that bibliography impresses you, just order it or just look at it, get it, like that. So this is how the, once you begin, see, well begun is half done. Okay, so once you begin, you will find your way. You don't need me only. This all you will find your own way. So when I ventured into Kannada literature, I read that Odukeri, Siddhalingaya. Then I came to know that Siddhalingaya was a very good friend of what? D.R. Nagaraj. Then I went to D.R. Nagaraj. D.R. Nagaraj opened a huge vista of Kannada literature. Then I came to know that he is one of the first and foremost intellectuals. Then from there I went to Kusuma Bale. Okay, Devanura Mahadeva. Then I started reading Dalit literature, then that movement of all. So so I saw that, then slowly, then S.L. Bhairappa, then P. Lankesh. P. Lankesh I couldn't read anything, but I got. Gauri Lankesh has written a lot about her father. This is how slowly you go. And people keep on suggesting a lot of things. That's it. So once you start your S.L. Bhairappa, one, you like it, you read next, you read next, you read next, you read next. This is how it goes. Like that. Okay. If you want specific documents, come to me, I will tell you. That's it. But document, now there is a beautiful web series going on. See how you get the books. I am watching a web series known as White Lotus. That's come on HBO, Geo Hotstar, White, beautiful. So first location of White Lotus is in what? Hawaii Islands. Hawaii is nothing but the birthplace of Barack Obama. So in that two characters are there, two girls they have shown. The girls are always reading the books. So I just used to magnify it and saw the books. So she was reading Freud, Nietzsche, okay, discourses on colonialism. I wrote all the books, I downloaded the PDFs also, I ordered some books also, got it. This is how you do it. Okay, now second season I got Emily Henry, that is I got. So this is how you get the books also. The character is holding different books every time. That means something is there. And the character holding, I told you about colonialism, the girl which is holding, if you learnt our world history, I told you about mestizos, na? So the girl is a mestizo, she is holding what? Colonialism. A book on colonialism. See, these movies also teach a lot about books. Books teach a lot about movies. So it's what? Give and take things. And now you know that it's a saga only. Now books are being turned into movies. I told you. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Latin American author. 100 Years of Solitude. It has been now made into what? A Netflix web series. Got it? Get it. Clear? 100 Years of Solitude. And what did Gabriel Garcia Marquez teach us? Magic realism, which was adopted by an Indian origin author known as Salman Rushdie. And he wrote Midnight Children. Like that. Clear? So it's all give and take. Yeah? Anything more? So we can pause our thing. If you don't have anything. Got it? Online, na? Online students, there are a lot of Telegram groups. Lot of Telegram groups are there. You tell me which group you want. We will try to find a link and share it to you. And there you are what? So for example, in Marathi literature, what we do is, I joined a Telegram group. They have given a format. In that format, you have to put the name of the book, the year which was published, author and publication. Within 5 minutes, they make the book available. Immediately give it. Similarly, I have joined a group of African books. So all African literature is available free of cost. Are you getting this? This is how you get it. And again, in my IIT, there are some people who are hackers. So they hack the ebooks. I just tell them, they give it to me. Computer science students. So they give it to me. So one source is what? This you can do, or else if you don't find a book, you can text me. Sir, I want this book. I will try to make it available. There are some sites also. There was a LibGen site, but it has been closed now. But there are some sites which still work. But I have a source. I tap my IIT friend. He makes it available from anywhere in the world. I get it. So why should I go and check the websites and all? How you do it? Clear? You ask, you, I will send you. Don't worry. Done? Anything more? Last one. Okay. What? Which genre? Philosophical. I have put a book on our Telegram channel, The Story of Philosophy. Beautiful book. The Story of Philosophy. All philosophers given in very concise format. If you read that, all is done for ethics. Nothing else to read. The Story of Philosophy. The Story of Philosophy. Already there are what? Telegram channel. Just go to search and put Story of Philosophy by Will Durant. The Story of Philosophy by Will Durant. Yes, philosophy students use it for optional. My normal ID is okay, this is my, and personal @ Seeking Begumpura. Okay. @ Seeking Begumpura. This is there are some books which I told you, Nivedita Menon and all. I have put it already. Okay, that's it. Done? Okay. Okay then. See you. Take care. Bye bye. Yeah, bye bye. See India Pakistan match. Yeah, I will be here for 5-10 minutes. If you come, if you want, you can come and talk. Yeah. Yeah, Kaifunisa. Yes, bro. Come. When I started reading, reading used to, my mother used to tell me study. So in the science textbook, I used to put English textbook and read it, because I used to read stories again and again. Then more about, I felt reading, I can't particularly point it out. But at 12th standard, after 12th standard, I felt that I should little bit read. I met a fantastic woman known as Munira Lokhandwala. See, I always like to hustle. Hustle means what? You don't be stable. So 12th standard, you give the exams, and I knew that I'm going to score very less marks. Okay. So to pacify my heart, I used to attend some lectures, open lectures, where they said that there was a lecture for CAT, NBA. So there was a person who was going to come known as Munira Lokhandwala. So she was 99.99 percentile CAT holder, that rank, always won. She always got admission in IIM Ahmedabad, but she didn't take it because she was interested in teaching. So I attended her lecture and she told that reading is very important, English reading. So I was not a reader, and that it was not, we were only related to textbooks and all. So then what I did is that she told, so I told her, ma'am, when should I start? From where should I start? She suggested that, Nikhil, you start from Paulo Coelho. Paulo Coelho, but it was very tough language. But still I started. But again, the problem is that when you start reading, you will feel like quitting. It's not engaging. But I still persisted and finished that Paulo Coelho. And then I started my spree. Paulo Coelho's I started with Alchemist. Then I read his Brida. Then I started his Veronica Decides to Die. Then there is 11 minutes. Then all saga started. Now his Archer has come. So Paulo Coelho I read entirely. But now the problem is that reading is a very monetary affair. So there, near my locality, 2 stations away, railway station, there was a person who used to sell pirated books. So I made friends with him. He said that you can borrow a book, read it, give me 20 rupees, exchange it and take another book. And that time books, pirated books used to come for 50 rupees. So this is how I started. Slowly. Then once that reading came, then I started stealing from my home. My father used to keep money. So money used to come little. But I used to buy a lot of books then. Slowly. Then it started buying them. But that was very important for me. Then that how reading, and once you have tasted something, you start reading. And again, motivation is there for you to read, because once you start observing the difference that you are separated from the lot, then you do it more. Because your quest for life is not to be a part of herd, but to be a lion. A lion is always alone. Remember that. If you are alone in life, it's good, because you are a lion. So that was always the quest. So I started reading that. UPC preparation also, money was not too much, but still I managed sometime. So cut down on food, cut down on extra expenses, cut down on your leisure, buy books. If you even save 50 rupees per day, so 50 multiplied by 7, 7 5 is 450. Any book can be bought in 450 rupees every week. And now when income is coming, so I make a point that 10% always is invested in books, but it goes around 50%, 60%. It is also, that is an investment for social cultural capital. That's it. That is there. Yeah. Okay. Got it? Yeah. And one author I told, read that this, I forgot that name. Ruskin Bond. Beautiful love stories. Ruskin Bond. All your Masuri will come in front of you, because he writes from Masuri only. And when you go to Labasna, there is a coffee shop there. Ruskin Bond comes every Tuesday there. Ruskin Bond. Write down the name, Ruskin Bond. And read his book, or read his book also, and the story specifically, Ruskin Bond. Night Trainer Devli. Beautiful. Clear? And once you start reading Ruskin Bond, you will not stop. You will yourself search the books and you will start reading. How beautiful he writes. Beautiful. Ruskin Bond. He stays near your Labasna. Clear? Brilliant. Anglo-Indian. Beautiful. Feel good. Very good. Okay. Sridevi, read Ruskin Bond. Got it? Yeah. Yes. Okay, done? Okay. Bye bye. Yeah. See? Shall yeah, we can. Just let me tell him. You want to talk?